All right, let's get into a topic that's happening all around us, but often, in the shadows, family estrangement. And this isn't just about old school family feuds. No, this is about a massive shift in how we even define family itself.
So, I want to start with a number that might actually surprise you, 27%. And this isn't just some random statistic pulled out of thin air. This comes from some really deep research, and believe me, it tells a huge story.
That 27%, well, it translates to about 68 million American adults who are cut off from a family member. Just let that sink in for a second. We're talking about a silent epidemic, really, playing out in homes all across the country. It's affecting way more people than most of us probably realize.
So what is going on here? What's driving this? Well, the research points pretty overwhelmingly in one direction. It's the adult children who are making the break. And we need to be clear about this. It's almost never a sudden decision. It's a painful, last-ditch effort after what's often been years of trying to make things work.
And the reasons they give, they are not small things. We're not talking about a petty argument over politics at Thanksgiving. We are talking about deep, long-term pain from stuff like abuse, constant neglect, or just a fundamental feeling of being unloved or unaccepted for who you are.
Okay, and this is where it gets really, really interesting. There is this huge gap, this massive disconnect in how parents and their adult kids talk about the very same family. It's like they're describing two completely different realities.
This chart just lays it out so clearly. You see, parents often point fingers outward. They'll blame external things, like, oh, it's their spouse's fault, or it's that therapist they're seeing. But the adult children, they're pointing inward, at the family dynamic itself. They use words like toxic to describe their parents' behavior, things like cruelty, disrespect, and just a flat-out refusal to respect their boundaries.
And get this, it's not just a few parents thinking this way. Studies show that almost 80% of estranged mothers believe some third party is the real reason for the split. From their point of view, the confusion is genuine. Many of them truly feel blindsided and have no idea what went wrong.
So, how is this possible? How can two people from the same family have such wildly different takes? Well, the answer is bigger than just individual people. It's about a huge cultural shift, like an earthquake, in what we even think family is for. For older generations, family was really built on the idea of duty. You stuck together because you were supposed to. It was an obligation. As the historian Stephanie Kuntz puts it here, your job was to fulfill your role, not necessarily to feel happy or understood.
But younger generations, they're basically playing by a whole new rule book. They tend to see family through this lens of what sociologists call pure relationships. And what that really means is that connection is a choice. It's something that has to be sustained by mutual respect and emotional safety, not just by blood. And this generational divide is being cranked up to 11 by two really powerful modern forces: therapy culture and the internet. But the big question is, are they helping families figure things out, or are they just pouring fuel on the fire?
Let's start with therapy, because it's right in the middle of this huge debate. You've got critics who argue that this new therapy speak has created a culture where cutting family off is seen as just, a simple act of self-care.
This quote from Vivian King really captures that side of the argument. The idea is that maybe some therapy puts too much emphasis on personal comfort, and it gives people permission to label any parental flaw as toxic and just walk away.
But then, there's a really strong counterargument. Therapists like Amanda White are saying, whoa, hold on a second. Therapy isn't creating the problem. It's just giving people the language and maybe the courage to finally address real harm that past generations were just expected to put up with and stay quiet about.
And of course, then there's the internet, which has just supercharged this entire conversation. You see words everywhere like toxic, narcissist,
And gaslighting. Now, look, these terms can be incredibly useful for people who are trying to understand real abuse. But they've also kind of become weaponized in family fights. And online groups can become these echo chambers that just confirm one person's side of the story, making it even harder to imagine ever fixing things.
So what this all boils down to is this deep tension between two worldviews, right? One is built on duty, and the other is built on well-being. And it leaves us with this really fundamental question for our time. When it comes to family, is that connection a birthright that you're just owed, or is it something that has to be earned and maybe re-earned over and over again? The answer to that is what's reshaping families everywhere.